happen in the future? How will the travel industry move forward?
Imagine 10 years from now, not 20, 30 years, but 5, 10 max. That phone in your pocket, that computer is going to be able to offer the ultimate personal recommendations of where you want to go, what you want to do, suggestions that may not have occurred to you, but so many people that you know, that you trust will be able to suggest, allow you to easily find the best price, book it on the spur of the moment, and go and have the amazing memory, that amazing trip that everyone wants. And right now, what I just described, it's actually technically possible, but no company, including our own, have really mastered being able to deliver that concisely at the time you want it to a high degree.
When we have a look at the future role of TripAdvisor, now it's possible to book, but not to do that booking at TripAdvisor. Do you think that it will be possible in the future that TripAdvisor will be an OTA, that you can book trips at
there's
TripAdvisor directly?
You can already book some things on TripAdvisor directly. That amazing helicopter tour that you want to take of the Grand Canyon, that's bookable on TripAdvisor. Not because we feel we need to be in the booking business. You want to book an Accor or a Marriott hotel, you don't have to do that on TripAdvisor. Book it anywhere you want. We want to be the source of information to help make sure our travelers are making the right decision. In hotels, that's making sure that we've pulled together all of the pricing from everyone that's going to sell that hotel room and let our travelers pick where they want to book. Do you want to book it on the hotel website? Do you want to book it on your favorite OTA? Maybe book it on TripAdvisor, but probably not, and that's fine with us. When it comes to the helicopter tour, we want to make sure every tour provider offering helicopter rides of the Grand Canyon is listed on TripAdvisor, is reviewed on TripAdvisor, and some of those might want to make themselves bookable on TripAdvisor. That would be great because it's empowering to the consumer to be able to book that unique experience before they go, as opposed to getting there and perhaps it not being available.
What are your main competitors?
So we certainly, travel is phenomenally big as an industry. Of course, there's a tremendous number of terrific companies out there that provide a very valuable service. We like to think we're one of them, but we're certainly not the only one. When we look out at winning the hearts and minds of our travelers, the thing we need to make sure we do is deliver the best possible choice, selection, pricing, convenience, tie it together in one trip. Where do people start traveling today? A lot of people still start on search engines. And so we want people to be starting on TripAdvisor. So if I look out over the years, I'd say our biggest competition would be the biggest search engines in each company. Certainly Airbnb has a terrific brand. They among others have brought alternative accommodations to the forefront. But nobody that I've ever met thinks everyone will be booking their place to stay on Airbnb. Hotel companies are not going to go out of business. All the hotel companies I know are actually doing quite well. People, when planning trips, are looking for a broad range of options. And so many come to TripAdvisor and then come back to TripAdvisor because they know we have almost everything possible. In the lodging category, in attractions, things to do, restaurants, how to get around, tipping etiquette, whatever you need on the trip, we want to make sure you can find it on TripAdvisor. So where there's some alternative lodging capabilities out there, we'd love to have that inventory also for display on TripAdvisor. But no, when I think of overall landscape, I wouldn't rank Airbnb as a top competitor because they're an accommodation supplier, which is great, but not specifically what we do.
Stephen, could you explain the functionality and the benefits of these publishing platform offered to brands and influencers? What is it?
I would be delighted to. When you look at really what goes into a great travel decision planning site, when you think of what you as travelers do when you plan a trip, you got to pick the destination, you got to figure out where you're going to stay. You want to make it magical, so you need to figure out what you're going to do when you get there, where you're going to eat, where you're going to shop, all these different aspects. Today, You're asking your friends. Maybe you're reading some top lists from brands or social influencers. Maybe you're getting that trip itinerary from a buddy of yours. All of these are fantastic ways that we've all made decisions about how to travel. Now, TripAdvisor in the past has had 700 million reviews and opinions. That's great. That's a terrific conglomeration of the wisdom of crowds. The anonymous reviewers that come in and rank everything under the sun. Terrific. But not all that our travelers are looking for. They're looking for the top 10 lists from some other sources as well. Great. With the new TripAdvisor, you can now find those top 10 lists on TripAdvisor. You can see amazing videos produced by a travel brand here, by National Geographic there, that will inspire you, stuff that we never had on TripAdvisor before. So it fills a role in inspiration. It fills a role in recommendations. You can get your social media friends to connect on TripAdvisor so that when I go to Berlin, I can actually see where my friends have stayed and see whether they like those places. I can see what they've done, the magical experiences that they have had, and I can say, hey, I'd love to do that as well. And so it takes call it an encyclopedia that TripAdvisor was, and turns it into a much more inspirational vehicle for getting advice from your friends and the brands and the influencers that you trust. And the big thrust of the new TripAdvisor was bringing that to the forefront in a travel feed, allowing you to save the various places that you want to go, places that you want to stay, into things we call trips, sharing those trips with your friends, with your traveling companions, so that you could actually plan the entire vacation on our site.
Which role does artificial intelligence, big data, machine learning, all that stuff, all the big buzzwords that we talk about here at the IATB convention play in this process?
A great question. I talked earlier about, hey, the travel in the future is going to be a concise, trusted recommendation personalized for you. Wow, that's really hard to do for anyone involved, for any company involved in something like a travel purchase, which is relatively infrequent. So we need to use some of these technologies, our machine learning system, to understand who this traveler is. We may not know a lot about them as an individual, but who else are they like? So that we can surface the recommendations that you might want to go to Malaysia. That could be the perfect spot for you because of these other characteristics that we've seen of people like you. And when we do a good job with that match, everyone's happy. The traveler found something easier, the destination found a tourist that's going to be excited about what works for them. And again, it works for everyone when you can get a great recommendation going.
My question is, what is the financial potential of the experiences market segment? Can you explain it a little bit for us?
Sure. Various research studies have it at between $150 and $250 billion. It's kind of one of the last untapped, from our perspective, opportunities for travelers to get what they're looking for. The research, the recommendations, the price checks, the bookability, on something that they are going to be spending meaningful dollars on when they are in destination. There's a category of things that you as a traveler really should book in advance because you don't want to get there and have it sold out. You don't want to take the tour you weren't really interested in. You want to take the one piece or the half a dozen tours, activities that will make the memories for your trip. And then you'll fill in, if you're like most travelers, you'll fill in the other things that I'm going to keep Thursday afternoon free, and we'll figure out what to do when we get there. We'll pick up recommendations from people we talk to, or we'll open up our app and we'll see what's nearby, and we'll look and we'll say, yes, this looks like a really great opportunity, and I'd love to be able to book a ticket to that museum before I actually get there and find that it's not available. So all of that is an opportunity for us, for other attraction providers, for the folks building the plumbing between the supplier and the consumer, to really be able to bring it all together to help that traveler book as much as they can on their phone, as much as as they should in advance, and most importantly, be booking the right thing for their expectations. It is difficult in the sense that there truly are millions of suppliers out there that would like to get online. We have a tremendous demand footprint. There's hundreds of millions of people looking for things to do on TripAdvisor every month. And we'd love to be able to help the traveler finish that journey, but it's more challenging to connect the bookability and availability to all those players. We're getting there, absolutely. Everyone else is chasing the same dream because it's a really powerful one for both sides of the equation.
Now, can you explain us just what the legal status is regarding fraud and how big that problem is for you as TripAdvisor?
Sure, it's something that obviously we take very seriously. If you think about it from our perspective, our reputation, our livelihood as a company is based upon whether travelers believe the reviews and recommendations on TripAdvisor. If we don't do a great job with this, people aren't going to come back. And if you look at our traffic over the years, everyone keeps coming back because they read the reviews, they looked at the recommendations, and it turned out to be true. That's the best statement I can make about how we care about fraud. We have hundreds of people that work to minimize the amount that's ever on the site, and that it works, as evidenced by people coming back. Now, there was actually just a case, committing fraud itself is illegal in most countries. We enjoy helping to make life super difficult for people that wish to commit fraud on our site, write fake reviews. We were thrilled to be working with some prosecutors in Italy where we helped them find somebody who was actually writing fraudulent reviews as a business. And we're like, yeah, we helped put him in jail. It was actually the first case that I was aware of where the prosecutors went after somebody, find him and locked him up. And so that's the consequence if you're in business to defraud us or any other site. And we love everyone to know about that. It's just not a business you want to be in. So no, so yes, we take fraud very seriously. No, it's not a particular problem on our site because we have 19 years experience working on this. And as I talk about Google as a competitor to TripAdvisor, I do worry about that. What Google doesn't seem to have that TripAdvisor has in spades is the trust around the recommendations that are surfaced. And so when we do our surveys, yes, Google has a tremendous quantity of reviews, but they don't yet have, and I hope they never do have, I'm going to go to Google or I'm going to go to TripAdvisor to read about this establishment and make a decision based upon it. So quantity was never the only name of the game. We are the first to acknowledge you got 1,000 reviews here or you have 20,000 reviews. Doesn't matter. 1,000 is plenty. And TripAdvisor has plenty of reviews in almost everywhere, plus the candid photos, plus the reviews from your friends, plus the trust component. So we're in pretty good shape on that one.
Okay, this also refers to the next question. How does the ranking system on TripAdvisor works? As it is not only based on the score, but also on the amount of reviews and probably also who is writing the review.
A great question, not quite assuming the correct answer there. So yes, we do. It is not a straight average of all the scores. We weight the reviews for the ones written more recently are weighted stronger than the older ones. There isn't a magic floor number, but we are aware that if you as a consumer are looking at 3, 5 bubble reviews of a property, you're like, all right, that's probably pretty good, but there are only 3 reviews. I'm not sure about it yet. But if you look at another property that has 500 5 bubble reviews, I'm like, yes, that one is strong. That's great. And all our ranking algorithm tries to do is mimic what goes on in traveler heads, in travelers, when they think about, yes, I do care a lot about the quantity because that conveys reliability. And so the ranking score is primarily what is your actual score, second, recency, and third, we do care if we have more reviews rather than few. But just to be clear for anyone paying close attention, whether you have 5,000 reviews or 1,000 reviews isn't going to make a difference, because that's still plenty of reviews. So bigger establishments don't, by definition, have an advantage.